Fridays, Brian Mudd. This is my cheat sheet for October 28th. Today is the day that new refi rules begin to take effect for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac backed mortgages. Now here's the situation. The cap had previously been, under a government assistance program, 25% that you could refinance up to, and anything beyond that you were on your own. Well, here in South Florida, so many of us have been more than 25% underwater on mortgages that were backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. The new program, as these rules start to get phased in today, enables no limit. So whatever the amount owed is, regardless of what the perceived value of your home is, you theoretically would be able to refinance at current market conditions. Of course, you need to be current on your existing payments. That all goes hand in hand with having reasonable credit. If you're behind in your payments, this is not going to be the program for you. But if you have been making those payments, this might just be the break you've been looking for. By the way, if you financed a mortgage that was under $417,000, your mortgage is most likely backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, even if the mortgage company you deal with has another name on it. Also, another condition, there are a handful of conditions. I've got more information on the physical cheat sheet, but you would have had to have purchased your home prior to April of 2009. So anyway, get in touch with your lender and don't be discouraged. And don't be surprised, by the way, if they don't know what the heck you're talking about today. That's altogether possible. One would hope that these mortgage companies would be properly briefed, but you never know. And just because you get one person on the phone that doesn't help you, you can't stop there. That's not how you get things done anymore. No double dip for you. Here's the one really great piece of information that came out of yesterday. You know, the funny thing, as you saw the stock market take off, was not necessarily the European debt thing. I mean, look, maybe that'll work. Hopefully it will. But was anything substantive done in Europe that's really going to change the way we live our lives today? Absolutely not. But what did change yesterday was right here. It didn't even gain as much attention as the whole Europe thing. It was the fact that GDP grew at 2.5%. Now, as much as Jim and other people like to make fun of me for talking about GDP, here's what this means. We have been averaging about a 1% growth rate for the first 6 months of 2011. Obviously, that is very close to recession-like territory. Anything under 2% traditionally puts you at risk of fading into recession-like territory. By the time you get above 2% growth, it generally would take a new economic event in a negative way to throw you into negative growth. The definition of a double-dip recession: 2 consecutive quarters with negative growth. For now, you can take those scenarios completely off the table. That was the big news. As things stand now, we are not heading into a double-dip recession in the United States of America. If a negative economic event occurs beyond where we are right now, then it's back on the table. But otherwise, you can breathe a little bit easier. Some pretty good news. Sony, they want to get into the smartphone business in a pretty big way. They'd owned a piece of the company Ericsson. You might remember them. Once upon a time, they're actually somewhat popular here in the United States. Well, Sony went ahead and spent another $1.5 billion yesterday acquiring all of Ericsson. What this actually is their attempt to move headlong into the smartphone race. The previous Ericsson phones, most of which have been sold overseas of late because they haven't done anything here, have been co-branded with Sony and Ericsson. These new phones are going to be Sony branded only. They're killing the Ericsson brand, and they're going to try to compete in a very big way with the major players here in the United States over the course of the next couple of years. A lot of people think it's too little too late, and it very well may be, but we know that Sony is a brand that many people feel very favorably about. So if they can manage to put some good phones out there, they have the brand recognition that just might give them an opportunity to be successful, as people might be willing to at least try them out. Redbox raising prices. Here's one for you. We know what happened in Netflix when they decided to dramatically raise their prices. Redbox does things a little bit differently. They charge you per day for the movie you get, but of course it's delivered. The new fee is going from $1 per day for a movie up to $1.20. So that's a pretty big deal. I mean, that is a 20% price hike per day. We'll see how the market reacts to it. My guess is, and keep in mind that Redbox has many fewer customers than Netflix did, my guess is this is something that will generally be tolerated by its users. HP, the computers will live on. HP computers will not go into the dustbin of history. Meg Whitman, who is the former CEO of eBay, the new CEO of Hewlett-Packard, spent the past month doing a review of the decision to kill the HP computer business. She doesn't want to do it. Doesn't think it's the right strategic move for Hewlett-Packard, so they will live on. If you're a fan of HP computers, then today's a good day for you. That's the cheat sheet for today. As always, more information on the physical cheat sheet. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you Monday, which is Halloween.